Thank you again for joining me. Today in Relationships, a 10-day course, we will be dealing with Session 5, Family. First, a quote from Leo Tolstoy. All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. When I worked with couples as a couples counselor, I used my creative skills to make a point. I always kept a large white pad and Crayola markers handy. I would open a clean page and draw two big hearts in red. Pointing to the first heart, I would say, "This heart represents a spouse who sees the heart as 100%. That is, if your spouse is close to his mother, that leaves 90% for you. If she is close to her father, that leaves 80%, and so on." The fear that a very small percentage will be left over creates tension and often animosity. And then I would turn to the other heart and draw multiple boxes. Each box represents a family member or friend. This spouse feels each person can get his or her 100% love and attention and not diminish the good feelings between the partners. My older brother married a woman who saw my parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles an extension of her own family. She developed new aunts, new uncles, and new grandparents. Her life was richer. My younger brother married a woman who competed with my parents, etc. Every relationship other than her own family was a threat. I think my older brother took his wife's loving attentions for granted. It's simply the way it should be. My younger brother was unconscious. As long as there was peace, he was happy. Very different perspective. The question is, which reality are you living? Is your relationship secure and inclusive, or does your spouse feel threatened that you play soccer with your brother every Saturday? Or, as I asked previously, does your spouse object to the morning calls between you and your mother? I worked with a young woman who lived to fulfill her mother's business dreams. Her mother was a frustrated businesswoman. She wanted her daughter to succeed in a field she herself could not conquer. She pushed her daughter into an education and career that did not fit her child. I first met the mother. She sent her daughter to work with me. It didn't take long before I told the young woman she needed a divorce from her mother's dreams. It took several years before the daughter heard me and acted. I turned to the daughter's husband and said, "Your wife has a close emotional relationship with her mother. They talk, they process, they prop each other up. Your wife is about to let go of all of that. Are you prepared to fill in the gap emotionally for your wife?" He was not. Communicate. If you see your significant other is investing in your family and making friends, say how much you appreciate the effort. If you find your spouse is competing with your mother, father, sister, or brother, talk up. Find out why. What is happening? Learn about their family dynamics. Learn about their fears. Perhaps you can find the words that will make your partner feel secure. Don't live with insecurity. Don't live with fear. Whether Christmas or Passover, you want to get together and feel the love. Communicate. Seek counseling. A good therapist will come up with the right questions which will get the conversation started. If you have been in therapy before and it did not work, try again. Ask friends who have had success in therapy who they worked with. It's easier to live with awareness rather than unexplained anger or resentment. Becoming aware of how your childhood family dynamics impact your present-day interactions is a challenge with endless benefits. When you sit in counseling and hear yourself talk about the positive relations you had with your parents and siblings, you just begin, to understand the positive values you bring to the love of your life, to the most important relationship of your life. Similarly, if you hear how your father competed with you, if you grasp the impact of your mother being on drugs, you begin to understand the gap in your ability to love and trust. It's all about speaking honestly in a safe environment. It's all about admitting you want more for yourself and your relationship. I lived with a man who could build a house from scratch. He could install bathrooms, kitchens, wallboard, and when he was done, he could paint and wallpaper. However, he never finished a project. He did not want to be judged. I learned that his father competed with him. His father taught him everything he knew about building and fixing up. Whatever Ed accomplished, his father would say, "I could have done it better." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Whatever I did in life, my father thought I was a genius. Ed never fulfilled his potential. His father's voice had a permanent home in his head. "I can do it better, son." These positive and negative family voices have an impact on our physical health. Positive relations with your parents and siblings can lead to healthy behaviors and reactions in life. Taking good care of yourself and making healthy choices is connected to early family experiences. Negative, stressful relations in early family situations can lead to unhealthy choices like overeating, poor impulse control, or drug addiction. It can and does get serious. Several studies have shown that mental health is affected by the first 3 months of life. If the mother or caregiver is attentive, affectionate, a good communicator, and shows love, the child is guaranteed to have positive interactive relations in the future. During World War II and the London Blitz, infants were brought to the countryside for safety. They were kept in cribs. The children were fed but not touched. There was no time for limited staff to coddle the infants. Research has shown that these unloved infants did not thrive in adulthood. If your childhood history in some way matches this example, I strongly recommend you start your journey of discovery. I would read Charles Whitfield's book, Healing the Child Within. That's Charles Whitfield, Whitfield, Healing the Child Within. An adult's emotional health is impacted by their childhood relationships with their siblings. Brothers and sisters teach you how to share and play together. A brother or sister's love can teach you to confide in others. Back to communication. A brother confiding in you can teach you the all-important lesson of listening. If your brother or sister is sympathetic to being bullied at school, You are learning to share your feelings and trust the listener. However, sibling rivalry is the foundation for competing all through your life, at work and at home. This brings us to order of birth. Parents often expect the oldest child to set examples for the younger children. That job, in quotes, could have a lifelong impact, always taking care of everyone in your life. Often, the middle child is the comedian, fighting for attention. I wonder how many TV personalities are middle children. And the youngest takes the longest to mature. It's difficult to let go of being babied by parents and siblings. One of my best friends is an only child. When it comes to where we're going today or where to shop for lunch, it's his choice and his choice alone. And he must have alone time every week. Another friend, a twin, is easy to compromise and never demands attention. Look around you. Who is controlling? Who is passive? Are you controlling or passive? If you are controlling, what are the roots of that behavior? And if you are passive, do you understand why? I have become aware that children learn from watching, not from hearing. You can tell a child to cross at the corner at the green light, but if you scramble between cars in the middle of the street to save a moment, that is what the child is seeing, experiencing, and learning. Expect your child to grow up challenging traffic just as you do. When dinner time is spent talking about your day, your child will grow up to be a communicator. I had a middle-aged couple come in to work with me. They liked my style and sent their adult son to work with me. He was great. He could express his feelings freely. When the mother came back into therapy, I asked her, "How did you make a son?" "A son?" "Learn to communicate." Her response stays with me. She said, "Every day after school, I would sit him down at the kitchen table and insist he tell me about his day. It worked. She made a communicator. Bravo." Thank you.